Right friends, welcome back to new series. This is Learn English in a Simple Way. The title of the lecture is Learn English in a Simple Way. There is some reason why I have not termed it as English grammar. There are 2-3 reasons for it. If I say English grammar, then it will frighten several people. In fact, my own personal experience says that I thought of learning English grammar during my childhood, but I went to several English grammar teachers. They taught very well, but I couldn't get anything. For most of the students, this is the ground reality in our country. So, an effort is being made by Learning Space to make you understand English in a simple way. And I want to extend this program up to 50 sessions. From now onwards, it will be weekly 1 session, and after June, I will try to increase it to 2 sessions a week, because in June we have civil services preliminary examination. For that, some of my time is going for various activities. So, here when I started comprehension ability discussion, I told you that I am not an English expert, I am not English grammarian, what you call, or neither I am proficient in that much English, but honestly speaking, I am making a genuine effort to teach English in the most simple way, and at the same time, please do not look into the mistakes of pronunciation. Last time I told, because I am not an English teacher basically, so please do not look for pronunciation mistakes. At the same time, grammatically, I am not looking any sentence grammatical way, but I am looking it from the perspective that how to understand that sentence. First perspective is how to understand, then comes what to use, is, or, has, have, those things automatically must be understood by you with the contextual meaning, right. So, I am starting in this fashion. Look at the first example, World Trade Center, this in New York, this was in fact attacked. Al-Qaeda attacked World Trade Center in 2001. Why only attacked is used here? No has, no is, no have, nothing is there, only attacked. And if you look at this example, all of you are familiar with Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Dhoni worked with the Indian Railways for some time. In Southeastern Railway, he worked with Kharagpur station, this is in West Bengal, and his tenure I have assumed for 3 years. Please do not go by exact figures, only for the sake of example I have taken Mahendra Singh Dhoni worked for 3 years from 2000 to 2003. So, look at the sentence, Mahendra Singh Dhoni had been working with Indian Railways, had been working. Previously we just used attacked, now we used had been working. It is not has been working, it is had been working. Why we use this? Till he joined Ranji Trophy cricket team, here we used joined. My assumption is in 2003, Mahendra Singh Dhoni joined Ranji Trophy cricket team, and how to put it in regional languages, in Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, you can very well say this, but in English you feel difficulty. You see, he worked from 2000 to 2003, subsequently he joined with Ranji Trophy and subsequently Indian cricket team. So, how to put that period? So, the right way of putting it is Mahendra Singh Dhoni had been working. Why had is used? Why been is used? These things you will have answers within next 3-4 classes. Virat Kohli has been playing very well. Virat Kohli joined Indian cricket team in 2011. Now we are in 2017. He is still member of Indian cricket team. Why we used has been? Previously we used had been working. Here has been playing. Why we used had there? Why we used has been here? Sachin Tendulkar had played well. Why we are not using been here? Similarly, you look at the advanced economies. Advanced economies, let us take for example 2008 financial crisis, all of you are familiar with, that is known as a subprime crisis, because at that time loans were taken by mortgaging the properties whose value was escalated like anything. That is a subprime crisis, and it ultimately led to the collapse of several banks and financial institutions in 2008, which is known as financial crisis. And I have a news item from 2011 to 2008, this is 2000 not 2011, from 2000 to 2008, from 2000 to 2008, those 8 years, in fact developed economies performed well. Subsequently they are not performing at present. So to look at this, I want to convey you the advanced economies performed well during that period and how to inform that. To frame that in your local language of Hindi or maybe Telugu or Tamil, it is very easy, but in English you feel difficulty. You see, developed economies had been performing very well till financial crisis struck in 2008. Maybe after 3-4 classes you may not have any difficulty in understanding these type of sentences. You see, Arun Jaitley, our finance minister, in fact before becoming finance minister, let us assume, it may be real also, let us assume he was practicing in Delhi High Court. How to tell this sentence? 2008 to 14 he practiced in Delhi High Court, and from 2014 onwards he became finance minister. So how to indicate in English? He performed as this advocate, the leading advocate in Delhi High Court. How to express this? That means for the period from 2008 to 2014, how to express this? Arun Jaitley had been practicing in Delhi High Court till he became the finance minister. So this indicates that at that time he was practicing. Then now, previously we used had been practicing in Delhi High Court. Now we used has been working as finance minister. Previously had, that pertains to this period. Now we are using has pertaining to this period. So what difference? How to understand English sentences? You see two examples. Narendra Modi became the chief minister of Gujarat in 2002. All of you are familiar. He became first chief minister of Gujarat. Subsequently he became the prime minister in 2014. So Narendra Modi became the chief minister of Gujarat in 2002. And when it comes to Yogi Adityanath, we say has become. What is the difference? Both became chief ministers. Narendra Modi became the chief minister of Gujarat in 2002 and Yogi Adityanath has become the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh. What is the difference? Why we used became there? Why we used has become here? Similarly, you see this difference between these two. India became a member of WTO in 1995. India has become a member of CERN. This is particle physics laboratory in Europe. This is the topmost particle physics laboratory, and India became associate member. Actually, this must be associate member. India became associate member, or you can say has become an associate member of CERN. Why we used became? Why we used has become here? Right? So here you see my example. I am teaching various subjects since 2015. You see, I have been teaching various subjects since 2015, starting from banking awareness, editorial discussion, one after the other. I used, I have been teaching. Then at present, I am teaching you English grammar, or you can say English made simple. So at present, I am teaching English. Why I used I have been teaching here and why I used I am teaching here. And with the usage of am, is, or, they, with practice you will use, there is no problem. But the biggest worry is where to use have been teaching, where to use am teaching. So this mostly bothers several people whose language is not English. 5 associate banks have merged with SBI from April 1. These 5 associate banks have merged with SBI, and similarly one bank was also merged in 2010, that is the State Bank of Indore. But you write State Bank of Indore merged with SBI in 2010. Why we used have merged here? Why we used only merged here? So, to find the answers, I am starting from, in fact, how to understand English. I am not starting from nouns, pronouns, that will complicate the matters. So, I am not starting from that. Ultimately, by understanding how to understand the language, then you will come to know about all those things. A 4-year child speak fluent Hindi without knowing anything about the language. Similarly, please try to understand the language. And when you are talking about any language or any communication, as a matter of fact, it involves 3 aspects. One is the present issues. We are in 2017. We have to communicate with regard to the present issues, 2017 issues, and at the same time, we are required to express the issues pertaining to 2000 or 1947 or 1900 or 1800. So, primarily, our communication basically involves 3 aspects. First aspect is present issues. The second aspect is go back to the history. Some issue may pertain to 2016, some may pertain to 2000, some may pertain to 1947. So, the issues pertaining to the history is one aspect, and at the same time, we have to look at future issues also. By 2020, I will become IAS officer. By 2022, I will become bank PO. You may have that intention. So, we have to talk about the future issues also. So, present issues, past issues, future issues. This totally makes total communication, nothing more than that. Any human communication involves these aspects, talking about previous history, talking about present and talking about future. And for the time being, let us look at the present issues, or you can say this is, I am concentrating on present issues, because for any one of you in any language, communicating the present issues is much simpler in comparison to communicating the past issues, especially when some linkage is there with the past, right. So, the present issues are much simpler. So, the present issues I am taking at the first instance. In the present issues also, there are 4 situations will be there. Let us talk about present issues. There are 4 situations will be there. In past issues also 4 situations, in the future issues also 4 situations you will encounter. Today I will explain what are 4 situations in present. When we are talking about the recent incidents, how to look at it from 4 situations, or how to bifurcate into 4 situations. Before understanding that, all of you are familiar with first person, second person, third person. This please understand first. First person, when I am speaking to Mr. Sunil Kumar, let us take for example, when I am speaking to Mr. Sunil Kumar, then I am the first person, then Mr. Sunil Kumar is the second person, and when both of us are talking about Mr. Dayakar James, he will be the third person. When I am talking to Mr. Sunil Kumar, I am the first person and Mr. Sunil Kumar is the second person, and we are talking about Mr. Dayakar James, he will be the third person. So, this difference please understand, in English we come across first person, second person, third person always, right. So, first person means I, we. I, we means when 4 of us are with me, we call we. You can be single person or 10 persons. You can be single person or 10 persons. When I say that you, then it may indicate 1 person or 10 persons or 100 persons or 1000 persons. So, I, we, there are first persons. When we are talking about us, that is first person. When I am talking about you means 1 person, 10 persons, 100 persons. It can be singular or plural. So, that is you. And this is he, she, it, they are third persons. When we are talking about some third person, we call he, she, it, they. They means plural. If 4 or 5 persons are there, we call they. So, first thing is, please differentiate between first person, second person, third person. And having learnt this I and we, I just now told these two are first persons. I means this is first person singular, singular means I am only one person, we means first person, and along with me another 10 persons are there. So, it is plural. When plural is there, we use we and you. You means second person. I just now told the example of Sunil Kumar, and second person, and you means it can be singular or plural. It may be one person or 10 persons. He, she, it. I just now told you he, she, it is third person and it is singular. Right? Here they is used in plural sense. Right? So, third person plural. He, she, it are singular. So, this differentiation please understand, and here am, are, is, are, this I think you spend some time with this chart. After my lecture, you will easily come to know about it, and at the same time in the usage you will not have any problem. When I is there, we use am. When we is there or you is there, they is there, because we is plural. You can be singular or plural, then they is plural. So, for these three circumstances you use are, and singular, that is he, she, it, third person singular, we use is. This is one aspect, and please forget about had. In the present circumstances you will never get had. So, forget about had. Had may be used in some other context, I am not going into that. Forget about had, think about only have and has. For next class also I am not going to introduce had, please think about have and has. Has is used only in case of third person singular, and remaining all the cases have will come. Right? So, in the usage do not go with the intention of rote learning. In the usage you will come to know about all these things easily. Right. So, let us start about the present. So, past I am not discussing now, I just now told you past will have 4 situations, future will have 4 situations, and I am concentrating on the present actions. Present will have 4 situations, I have just now told you. Present will have 4 situations, and you should not forget about am, is, are, and have, has, forget about had. That is what we learnt so far. At the same time, another thing you should not forget, verb forms. Verb forms, base form, past participle. So, here cry, cried, cried, agree, agreed, agreed, teach, taught, taught, run, ran, ran, then buy, bought. So, these things are basically verb forms, please do not forget, and yes form will be there. Cry, cries, agree, agrees, teach, teaches, run, runs, buy, buys. At the same time ing form is there, or you can call present participle. Do not be bothered by these things. Here sentence usage you will be very clear. So, I am going to talk about these 4 forms of present. Look at the first example. I am talking about all 4 forms through this, all 4 forms. Please let me tell you once again, here the present, when I am talking about the issues concerning the present, or you can say when I am talking about the issues which are relevant to the present, then I am looking at it from 4 situations, right. I will take 3 examples. So, here the first situation is, and all these 4 are pertaining to present only, please mind the 4 situations. The first one is, the boy cries quite often. Instead of cry, why cries came? Because the boy is singular and at the same time third person. So, that you will come to know later on. So, the boy cries quite often. What is the meaning of this? The boy cries quite often means regularly. Regularly in the sense, maybe once in 2 days, once in 2 hours, quite often the boy cries. That indicates the person's in fact prime quality or a regular feature, you can say. In general feature, to indicate general feature, you have to use the first situation, that is, the boy cries quite often. The sun rises in the east. the sun sets, like that you have to use Mr. Hari goes for a morning walk daily. So, for regular actions you have to use the first situation. Look at the second situation. These four are pertaining to the present only. First one is the boy cries quite often. What is the meaning? The meaning is it indicates regular action. It is not indicating about present movement, please understand. When I say the boy cries quite often, it indicates that it is totally regular action which may often take place. And second one, you see, the boy is crying loudly. What is the meaning of this? The boy is crying loudly. In fact, let us assume a situation. The boy cried from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Today, the boy cried from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. At one particular point of time, 9 o'clock, boy cried from 8 to 10. At one particular point of time, 9 o'clock, how to say? The boy is crying loudly. That means it indicates momentarily at that particular point of time, 9 o'clock, the boy is crying without informing anything about from when he is crying, from when he started crying, without telling all those things. We are speaking about that particular instant, that is the boy is crying loudly means at a particular point of time, 9 o'clock, he is crying. I am teaching English grammar. So, at this particular point of time, I am teaching, right. Look at the third example. The boy cried from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and at 10:15, what can I say? I have to say the boy has cried for his mother. The boy has cried. Here is crying. What it indicates? It is the momentary action at that particular time. The boy has cried. That means the boy started crying from 8 o'clock. It completed at 10 o'clock. I am looking at 10:15. So, at 10:15, the right sentence is the boy has cried for his mother. That means boy cried for 2 hours. It is completed action. Then at 9 o'clock, I already told you in one way, that is the boy is crying loudly, and that does not indicate from when he is crying. If I say the boy is crying loudly, it does not indicate from when, from what moment he is crying, but to indicate from what instance he is crying. At 9 o'clock I have to say the boy has been crying since 8 o'clock. That means from 8 o'clock continuously the boy has been crying. So, these 4 instances pertain to the present situation. One is a general term, the boy cries quite often. The boy is crying loudly, and please remember when is will come, when are will come, when am will come. I think all of you are familiar with that. Please look into the chart, and after going through several examples, you need not look at the chart also. And most important aspect is how to understand English. The boy cries quite often means regular action. Then the boy is crying loudly means at that momentary action at 9 o'clock. I am not indicating from when he is crying. Then the boy has cried. The meaning is he started from 8 o'clock, he ended at 10 o'clock. After the completed action which has got relevance for the present has to be indicated like this. The boy has been crying since 8 o'clock. That means he started from 8 o'clock and still he is continuing. It is continuous action indicating from which instance he is doing it. So, these 4 aspects are primarily indicating present form of tenses. What you call tense? Tense, people call it in 12 forms. These 4 pertain to present form. Let us look at another example. Virat Kohli plays cricket well. All of you, it is a known fact because he is established this for the past 6 years. Virat Kohli plays cricket well. This is general statement. It does not mean that he played well today, he played well yesterday. It does not mean anything. It is a general statement that Virat Kohli plays cricket well. Second point is Virat Kohli is playing well. Some Australia-India cricket match is going on. Afternoon, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock he played, let us assume. At 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock he played. At 3 o'clock, when somebody, some of your friend rang you up, you can tell in two ways. Virat Kohli is playing well. That means you are indicating only at that particular moment, or you can say when he is playing means it does not indicate some sort of additional information also. So here Virat Kohli is playing well means generally that day, that point of time, that means nearer to that point of time he is playing well. And you can also say Virat Kohli has been playing very well, has been playing very well is the right sentence in this context. You are talking to your friend at 3:30, Virat Kohli has been playing very well means that day from 2 o'clock continuously for the 1.5 hours, he is playing very well. That means he has been playing very well. So please understand the difference. When somebody says is playing, when somebody says has been playing, the right sentence is has been playing. You can also say is playing, but is playing is basically pertaining to that particular moment or pertaining to that moment without giving much emphasis. If I say Virat Kohli has been playing very well, that indicates from that morning or from the start of the innings, he has been playing very well. And let us imagine a situation, Virat Kohli played from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. He got out at 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, he got out. Your friend gave you a ring. You have to say Virat Kohli has played very well. That action is completed. If it is not completed, continuous, Virat Kohli has been playing very well. Third example, Amitabh Bachchan. Starting from 1969, he is still acting in the films. Amitabh Bachchan acts very well. General sentence, every one of us know. Amitabh Bachchan is acting in Sarkar 3. The film which is being at present, the film which is going to be released shortly, he is acting in the film, that is Sarkar 3. So Amitabh Bachchan is acting in Sarkar 3. Then third one is Amitabh Bachchan has acted in 200 films. So he is still acting, but we are talking about some completed films. Amitabh Bachchan so far completed 200 films. So Amitabh Bachchan has acted in 200 films. Now he is acting, his acting career will continue also. So Amitabh Bachchan has been acting in films since 1969 because he is expected to act in some more films. It is continuous action. He has not announced his retirement, and after his retirement is announced, you cannot use this sentence. We can use this sentence because Amitabh Bachchan has been acting in films since 1969 because he is continuing to act. Sarkar 3 will come, after that 2 more films are expected. So it is continuous process. To indicate continuous action, we have to say Amitabh Bachchan has been acting in films since 1969. I hope this present tense forms, all these 4 forms, only you have to be careful about. After has, the third form of verb has to come. Third form of verb will come after has or have. We are not discussing about had. Then another important aspect is here ing form will come, right. So ing form will come when we are indicating some continuous action at the same time. When we are indicating momentary action, ing form will come, and when we are indicating this continuous action, this been will come. That is permanent. Don't worry about that. You practice this type of sentences, English will be much easier to you, and please listen this program 2-3 times. Then let us analyze further. Today we discussed about first situation. We discussed about this entire 4 situations through examples with regard to the present. we discussed about 4 situations, and you may have a doubt, you are mentioning here 2017, but why are you talking about Amitabh Bachchan? Because in any language, when something is from the previous period, when something is related to the present period, when something is given importance with reference to the present period, most of the times we go with the present forms only. Though Amitabh Bachchan is acting since 1969, in 2017 also he is acting, and we are discussing about Amitabh Bachchan in 2017, and the past history we are referring with 2017. Please go with present forms only. Right, before concluding this lesson, because English cannot be that simple, there are where to use situation 1, where to use situation 2, where to use situation 3, where to use situation 4, because these 4 are the situations, situation 1, situation 2, situation 3, situation 4, and today before concluding, situation 1 where to use. One is universal facts, simple present tense, this is called. Situation 1 is universal facts, or you can say regular actions. So, the first one is sun rises in the east, this is universal fact. Birds fly in the sky, that is universal fact. So, for universal facts, simple present is used, and this is not in fact universal fact, it is, you can say, regular action, this is regular action. So, for regular action also we have to use this. Ramesh works as a farm laborer, Rakesh works as a doctor, right, like that, to indicate just regular actions. At the same time, universal facts, simple present only we have to use, and repeated or habitual actions, normally we have to use simple present. Rajesh goes for a morning walk daily, and if you want to indicate about a particular day, that is different, but this is general I am talking about. Generally, when something is pertaining to general statements, when something happens quite frequently, regularly, once in 2 months, once in a year, once in 4 years, it does not matter. But if something is regular action, you have to go with this simple present. Rajesh goes for a morning walk daily. For news analysis, students in our country read the Hindu generally. This is, we are generalizing it. For generalized things, please go with the simple present. They visit the USA once in a year. It is regular action. And visit, because they, this is plural, that is why visits has not come, visit is there. These things you will understand as the experience goes. Scheduled events also should go with this simple present. I am not talking about that particular day of Rajdhani arrival. In general, please look it. Rajdhani Express arrives at 8:35 am. The meaning is the scheduled time of Rajdhani Express is 8:35 am. And it is not that particular day. That particular day, it may come at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I am not talking about it. I am talking about the scheduled event, Rajdhani Express arrives at 8:35 am. Similarly, the polling starts at 7 am. So, these are the situations I am talking about for situation number 1 or simple present. Similarly, here in cricket commentary, you normally hear this simple present. Virat Kohli hits the ball crosses the boundary and he gets 4 runs, like that it goes on. So, everything will be in the, most of the things will be in the present tense. Then at the same time, demonstrations or experiments are indicated in simple present. Take a glass of water, pour it into the container, stir it with a teaspoonful of salt, something like that. So, we will discuss further in the next class, and within 4-5 classes, this 12 situations, or you can say, as the grammarians say, these are tenses, but I am trying to put it in somewhat different perspective. All your doubts will be cleared within 4-5 days, how to understand English, and I want to continue this series till we reach 50 or so modules. right. So, please put forth your opinion, and I would like to remind you, this is not a grammar class, this is just to understand English sentences in a schematic way and to understand very easily. I devised this format. So, let us go ahead with it and put forth your critical comment on these lectures. Critical comments are always welcome, right friends. So, we will meet once again Monday only at 12:30 hours for this English made simple, and tomorrow onwards again Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning 12:30 hours comprehension ability discussion. Some students want me to focus on somewhat difficult passages. So, after 50 passages are completed, in fact at present also we are taking editorials from Economic Times, Business Line, The Hindu. All articles are mostly editorials, and from next week onwards we will try to take some articles from The Economist, Harvard Business Review. Once we complete 50 comprehension lectures, we will look at those aspects. And Friday, banking awareness, current affairs, that is very much essential for you, right friends. So, we conclude here. Please do join tomorrow at 12:30. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye. No problem.